So if you fight in front of your toddler, they don't hear the words, but they absorb the danger. They absorb that energy. You see, a child may not understand the argument, but what their body learns is that home is unsafe. And I want to quickly share a tool that can help you stop that conflict. But even more important than that, you protect your child. You see, what's the real issue here? When the husband and the wife argue, what do they argue about? About who's right, who's wrong, about history. And guess what? That fight doesn't really stop. That conflict is still there. Why? Because men and women have different perspective. And that conflict keeps on rising. But what does a toddler really learn? They learn that home is not safe. They learn that mommy and daddy argue all the time. They simply know that something is wrong, something bad is happening. And if we do that repeatedly, if we keep on arguing, we tend to think that the toddler forgets or they ignore the fight, but they don't. Here's the key. Here's what really is going on. They adapt. And how does a toddler adapt? What sort of tools does a toddler have? Now hear this. They shut down or they become aggressive. And we tend to think afterwards, hey, there's something wrong with my child. My child is very aggressive, or my child doesn't really want to interact. But guess what? That's what we actually taught them. You see, it's not about the child. It's about the parents. It's about the energy that's in the house. And I gotta be honest about it. When there's a conflict, guess who's got the bigger ego? Well, it's usually the male. You see, the ego serves us a lot, but not when it comes to protecting our family, to protecting our home. So I want to quickly share a simple tool that I'm using when I have a conflict with my wife, because yes, we still have arguments. When I feel the tension is rising, what do? Instead of sharing facts or raising my tone, I simply say this: I love you. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Why is this so powerful? It's simple, but very powerful. Because what I do in that moment, I stop the conflict. I stop that negative energy. And I go into a different room. And when I come back later, guess what? The energy is lower. So I say, I'm sorry I raised my tone. Let's solve this. What's the solution to this? See, just by doing that, I protect my home. And how do I know that? Well, I'll tell you what. My parents got divorced. And I still remember, me and my brother were kids back then. But I still remember the conflicts. I don't remember what they're arguing about, but they were arguing. You see, that energy stayed with me for a long time. So don't pass this on to your kids, your big ego, or who's right or who's wrong. You see, being a leader doesn't mean that you always have to win. Being a leader means when you feel that there's a problem, you stop it and search for a solution. And guess what? We males, we're very good at this. Our brain is way more logical, so we know how to solve a problem. So the next time conflict arises, just remember, do not fight in front of your child. Stop that conflict. And I'm not saying to always give in. What I'm saying is come back later when the energy is lowered. Because that big ego that served you so well when it comes to raising a family and healthy kids doesn't really serve them so well. I hope this helps. All the best.